And I know you've been talking about the fact or implying that Trump clearly has no comprehension of supply lines. It seemed to have come as a shock to the oligarchs in your country and the powerful in your country, where things come from in your country. Explain how people are beginning to understand supply lines a little better in the present Strait of Hormuz crisis.
Well, I think the clue lies in the fact that their lack of comprehension is a very interested lack. It doesn't come out of innocence. It comes out of a very important political issue. Americans are wondering about those long supply lines, and there's only one explanation for them. Starting in the 1970s, maybe a little earlier in a few cases, but as a mass phenomena, starting in the 1970s, American corporations moved, particularly manufacturing, out of the United States. No one held a gun to their heads. No one required it, neither the American government nor the Chinese government. They went because it was profitable to go. And the ones who went earliest reaped enormous profits, forcing their competitors, who may have been more hesitant, to basically join and move to China or India or Brazil or a variety of other places, although China is still number one in that process. So the corporations, if they were honest, would be telling the American people, we have long supply lines because it profited us to do that, to move production from Chicago or St. Louis or New York or Boston to Shanghai or somewhere else in China. We're making out like bandits, and that makes a very long supply line because the stuff we produce in China has to be shipped all the way back to be sold where the market was, US, Western Europe, Japan. They didn't want to have to say that because then the anger of the people in this country would have turned on the corporations. They had to come up with a different way. And the way they did it, which is a real lesson in propaganda, is by having the leading politicians, including Mr. Trump, but not only Mr. Trump, constantly talk as though the decision to go there was something done by China or by India or by Brazil. In other words, to remove the key decision maker from the story and to imagine that the world economy changed because of something done, get ready, by foreigners, not by Americans. That way, Mr. Trump can portray the United States as the victim of this process rather than the perpetrator. The victim has been the American working class, which lost its jobs and its incomes because cheaper workers for American capitalists were available in India, China, Brazil, and so on. That story still cannot be told in the United States. It's considered taboo.